Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Carol and the name of my channel is My Blessed Nest. Today I'm super excited to be participating once again in Flippin Friday, hosted by Jamie at Board or Bananas. I have a whole playlist of Flippin Fridays that I've done, so I'll be sure to link that for you. So today I took part of another Flippin Friday project that was scrap, you might say, and I made it into another Flippin Friday project. So do you all remember the CD cabinet that I made into a bookcase? If not, I'll make sure to link it for you if you missed that one. Well, I had a door left, and so today I made it into a Christmas gift. So are you guys excited to see what I did with that door? Then let's get started. Here's what the CD cabinet door looked like to start with. There was some split areas that I needed to repair. There was also a handle on it that I didn't need. I took the door up to my craft room and I started working on the back. I had to try to remove that handle, and there was also a couple of magnetic catches that I forgot to remove. So I worked on that. It took me a while to get it all off, especially that handle. Oh my goodness, it was on there so tight. I tried all different kinds of things, and finally I just whacked it off with my hammer and it came right off. I do not have footage of that, unfortunately, so trust me, I did get it off with my hammer. My next step was to take a sanding block, and I like to use a piece of sandpaper wrapped around it because it was the grit that I wanted. And I just sanded a little bit, and then I got out my spackle. I decided just to use my finger because sometimes it's a lot easier than using that putty knife. And so I just put the spackle in the holes where I needed to or where the cracks were, and then took off any excess with my putty knife. After the spackling dried well, I took my sanding block again and gave it another quick sanding, and then took a wet rag and wiped off all of the residue. While I was prepping, I realized that I did have some kind of a dark spot that had bled through, and it always bothered me when it was a CD cabinet. So I took some adhesion primer that I had on hand and painted on a quick coat of that. Now that I've done all the prep work, this is where the fun begins, in my opinion. I love the painting part and making it beautiful. All the prep work is not so much fun, but it sure is necessary to get a final result that you're going to like. So here I am putting on a coat of black matte craft paint all over the front of the door and the edges as well. I didn't allow the black paint to dry fully, and then I got some white matte craft paint and my same chippy brush, and I'm just putting a coat over top of the black. Now if I had painted quicker, it would have been more gray. If I let it dry more, it would be more white. So I was trying to get a gray blend, and it's kind of tricky to get exactly the color that you want, and you have to work kind of quickly to get it uniform. So I'm doing it as quick as I can, and you can see how it's kind of blending into a gray, and it's got some depth to it, and I just love the look that I'm getting. Now I'm ready to letter my sign. Here's my lettering that I printed off of pages on my Mac, and my husband helped me line it up, and I just used some blue painter's tape to put it in place. And then I purchased this white transfer paper. I have black transfer paper, and sometimes it's hard to see depending on what color I've painted my background. So this white turned out really good. And I just traced my letters, and I checked to make sure it's actually going through. This is a really cheap alternative to a Cricut if you have a little bit of patience and a little bit of time, and you can actually get pretty quick at it if you do it very often. If I'm painting letters in black, I've found it helps to outline my letters with a black Sharpie. Now here I'm showing you a blue Sharpie because I'm colorblind, but it turned out just fine. So I would recommend a black Sharpie if you're painting with black. And then just simply outline your letters, and that gives you a really nice pattern to follow. It's real easy to see and it's real easy to paint your letters. Here's my painting tip of the day. You want to make sure to start at the top of your project so you don't drag your hands through your wet paint. So I started with the welcome. I've already filled that in. Another tip, which I've shared before but bears repeating, use a fine paintbrush. Make sure you match the tip of your paintbrush to the size of your lettering. It'll make a much neater job and faster because you won't be trying to fit a huge paintbrush into a small letter. I just wanted to pop on and remind you that today's video is part of a collab, so there will be a playlist linked below in my description box, as well as Jamie's channel from Border Bananas. So please go over and check her out, as well as the playlist. I know I told you to work from top to bottom so that you didn't smear your paint, but in this case, I have another tip for you. When I laid out my lettering, I wasn't quite sure where I wanted this part of my lettering to go until I saw the bigger picture. So I did make sure to allow my paint to dry really well before I put this lettering here to be traced out. And sometimes I don't have the eye to see the big picture. I'm not a visual person, so it just worked out better for me to do it this way. But of course, if you have that visual eye that you can tell how things are going to look, then you could have done this part in the middle and not had any problem with it. So just do what works best for you and your skills. Here I'm just using a ruler to hand draw an arrow in the middle of my sign. If you have a stencil, that would be another option. I did want a heart in the middle of the arrow, and I had these old stencils from when I was a little girl, so I just stenciled in the heart. And I know you can't see it now, but as soon as I put some paint on it, you'll be able to see where I'm going with this. While I'm finishing up my sign, I just want to say, don't be afraid to think outside of the box. Look at things inside of your home that you're not using for anything else, like this CD cabinet that I had. I transformed it into a bookcase and now a sign for a Christmas gift that I'm going to be able to give. So you don't necessarily have to make the same exact thing that I'm making. I just want to inspire you to look at things with fresh eyes and try to save money and have fun by just recreating something new. It's so much fun and it feels so wonderful when your project is done and you have something that you saved money on and that you could have bought at the store, but no, you made it for your very own. And of course, you're able to personalize things like I did with this project. Well, here we are at the end of my project. Here's a look of how my sign came out. I'm so thrilled and happy with it. I feel a sense of satisfaction because I made this out of something that was just going to be discarded. And I have a really nice Christmas gift to give. I hope you enjoyed my Flippin Friday video. If you did and you missed out on my other ones, don't forget to check out that playlist so you can catch up. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'll link that below. Also, if you want to find out what's coming up next on my channel, be watching my community tab on Sunday or Monday. I'll post what's coming up next week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.